Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Let's Max Warframe. So it's that time again, it's the 3rd anniversary of Warframe. So that means that the Dex Sybaris and the Dex Gextroll are back once again. However, the new thing for this year is a weapon I've liked for quite some time, finally given the special treatment, and that is the Dex version of the Sybaris. Now I've been wanting a special version of the Sybaris for the longest time, whether it be Prime or come in the form of a Syndicate weapon. However, we got a special anniversary version of it instead. So I guess the question you're all asking, how does it stack up against the standard Sybaris? Well, it comes with a slightly higher base damage of 75.1 compared to the standard 70, with the majority 33.8 coming in the form of slash, 22.5 as impact, and 18.8 as puncture, which is a slight change to the standard because the Dex gets higher slash damage but lower puncture and impact to compensate for that. However, it's only up and up from there for the Dex Sybaris. Higher critical chance of a fantastic 35% compared to the standard 25, and the same 200% critical damage multiplier. Larger magazine of 14, higher fire rate of 4.17 rounds a second, and a pretty sizable buff to reload speed to bring it down to 1.5 seconds compared to a 2-second reload on the standard. It then inherits a lot of the traits of the standard weapon as well. The 2-shot burst, with the negligible spread in the rounds, very low recoil, and very high accuracy, meaning you can just accurately pour fire onto an enemy, aiming for weak spots or sonar spots with ease, giving not only fantastic damage output to the weapon, but amazing damage application as well. In fact, when I look at the weapon, I really can't think of anything bad to say about it at all. I normally like to try and balance out these reviews, talking about the main features of the weapon plus the downsides of it, but with the Dex Sybaris, I really can't think of any at all. It's got great damage, fantastic accuracy, ammo efficiency. It really does have, there's no downsides to it whatsoever. Okay, so let's move on to starting to mod the Dex Sybaris. Now it doesn't come with any polarities as standard, so I've added 6 former, which is going to be 5 Vs and a dash. We've got 3 different ways I'm actually going to mod this, really focusing on different parts of the weapon. So we've got Serration, Split Chamber, Point Strike and Vital Sense, which is pretty much standard on the crit build. Argon Scope, which is going to increase our crit chance and make use of the huge accuracy of the Dex Sybaris. And we've got Bladed Rounds, which is going to increase our crit damage every time we get a kill. And obviously this leaves room for 2 elementals. If I'm going for a 2 elemental build, for the Corpus, I go straight Toxin usually, so that's Malignant Force and Infected Clip. For the Grineer, I would go Radiation, Void, Corrosive, and Corrosive Projection Void would be Viral. Now for the second build, we've changed things out a little bit. We're not really focusing on the headshots here, so we're going to go with Heavy Caliber, and we're going to try and focus on just straight up killing things with Heavy Caliber, and we're going to go with Bladed Rounds. So every time we get a kill with Heavy Caliber, it's going to increase our crit damage for when we actually do crit. Now this is definitely not really going to be focused on the headshots, which is why I haven't got Argon Scope instead of Bladed Rounds. But it's one of those ones. I know a lot of people like Heavy Caliber, but personally I think it drops the accuracy far too much. So this is not something that I personally would go with, but it is an option if you feel you want to. And then obviously the other option is to switch that out straight for Shred. The Punch Through being really, really useful. And then obviously Bladed Rounds. I mean, you could... this is going to be very much personal preference, Argon Scope or Bladed Rounds here. I went with Bladed Rounds because the chance of getting a kill with the Punch Through is that much higher. So having Bladed Rounds definitely helps. But then Argon Scope with Shred, you can hit multiple heads in a row, so I mean it's sort of swings and roundabouts. But these are definitely the 3 builds that I've sort of worked with the Dex Sybaris. Personally, I would go with the straight crit build. I found that this personally was the most effective for me, but I have to admit I did miss the punch through from Shred. The extra fire rate makes it sound amazing as well. So it's definitely going to be swings and roundabouts. It's definitely going to be sort of your own play style, how you want to play with it, that actually is going to sort of determine the outcome sort of your final build. So do I think the Dex Sybaris is worth the time and effort to max? And the answer you should already know. It should be pretty clear. It's definitely worth the effort. This thing is amazing. The damage is top tier. The accuracy of it means you can consistently apply that damage into headshots, into sonar spots. It's so ammo efficient. If you ever run out of ammo with this thing, I can tell you, you're doing it wrong. If there was a weapon I could class as absolute perfection in Warframe, the Dex Sybaris would be it. It sounds great to fire. It looks even better. The weapon design is superb. And the lotus symbol appearing as your muzzle flash is a great touch. The whole thing is fantastic. The Sybaris was already a top weapon, a beast in the right hands, so a weapon like the Dex, which is literally a straight upgrade, and the question of whether or not it's worth the upgrade becomes a moot point. You'd have to be mad to think this isn't worth the upgrade. It's hugely customizable, able to fit your playstyle pretty well no matter what it is. Status build, it's naturally going to be much weaker than a straight elemental build due to the poor's 10% status chance. However, it can be done if you so wish. As I showed earlier, there are several choices to make in your build, how you want to play with it. Whether you want to negate a fair chunk of accuracy for way more damage with heavy caliber, or if you want to go with punch through, or even try and make it go for red crits with huge crit damage. The choice is up to you, which is what any good weapon should do. But the best thing about the Dex Sybaris is, it's completely and utterly free. You get it just by logging in during this time period. It costs you nothing to pick up and use. So if you've never got round to trying the normal Sybaris, you can test out the Dex and see how you like it. You'll be able to tell very early on whether it's a weapon for you. Personally, I would say this is a top tier weapon, an absolute beast, worthy of the time it takes to max it out for sure. Style and substance, a fantastic weapon. As always guys, many thanks for watching, and I shall see you in the next video.